People like the idea of you. They like the fact that they can be around you. They see your kindness, and that's something that people actually like. But most of the time, people, when they see you, they have an image of you that they like. They want you to be a certain way. And the moment that you are yourself, that's when things are different. There's something about you that is always different, and people don't understand how it is possible that you go from someone that is really kind to someone that is actually speaking for yourself and all those type of things. So when they see you being yourself and starting to actually speak for yourself, that's when they no longer see you the same way. So this entire time, it means that they like the idea of you. They didn't necessarily like you. So that's why sometimes you ask yourself why you go to places and you're kind to people, but they don't seem to feel that your kindness is genuine. When this entire time you're really kind with people. When you go to places, you're kind to everyone that you see most of the time. When you go to the bar, you go to the restaurant, you're actually kind with the people that you see. But it just looks like people want to compete with you when you're not even in a competition with people. So they'll do everything they can to make you look like you're not kind, to the eyes of people. But then the people who know you, they get to see that you're actually a kind person. So there's this thing where some people who have kindness within them, they are not able necessarily to talk to people the way they want to talk. So they're just agreeing all the time with people, right? So you can go to a place, the first person that you see doesn't like you, then you go to another place, you see that people are neutral with you. Then you go to another place, there are people that actually like you. So there are some people right now as we speak that are not, like, people see them as someone that is not kind. And then there are other people the same day that see them as someone that is actually kind. That's why some people, they meet you for the first time and they say, whoa, I'm actually surprised that you're actually kind. Because the way people perceive you is not necessarily the right way. But we don't get to see the real personality of people, really how they are, right? They just want to talk about something. When they don't like you, when they are no longer like good with you, that's when you see that people try to actually put people against you, right? You're minding your business, you don't even care about people, but you always feel that you always have to just start things from zero. You can meet someone, you build a great relationship with the person, and then the next day the person is different. That's why when you go to the club, you go to those places, you meet someone, the vibe is really good the entire night, you're cool with people, but then the next day they no longer answer to you, those kind of things. It's because people just change, and that's something that we can't control. That we have to accept that someone can like you and the next day the person doesn't like you. But it just doesn't mean that we have to always think ourselves like, what are we doing wrong, and all type of things. Your character is seen. People see that you're helping people who actually take efforts, not the people that are just like saying all the time, oh, this person is that way, all those kind of things. Just people who actually take the time to talk to you know that you're kind. But the moment you see that, like, your kindness is just going nowhere, that's when people are switching. So a lot of people who are kind, nobody is perfect for sure, but a lot of people who are kind, they stop being kind because a lot of people just take that for granted. It's like you pouring love to people most of the time, but nobody is pouring that love to you. You always have to pick the pieces on your own. You always have to recreate yourself on your own. But when you're in moments where, like, everybody leaves you behind, you have to recover on your own. That's what kind people go through. But we are all the same. Of course, there are some people, like, they wake up in the morning, they want to create drama, chaos. It happens, right? But there are some people who just want peace in this world. And it will always be like that. But it's the people who just, like, have more, like more success, all those type of things that are generally like controlling things and doing their things. But kindness is not something that can just be invented. You can pretend to be kind. People are just going to see. Like, if you pretend to be someone that is kind, people are just going to see it, you know? That's why I'm always talking like about not being necessarily like, you have to be authentic to yourself. You have to be authentic to yourself. The same way that you are, you know, you got to be the same person when you meet people. But a lot of us are not necessarily consistent with that, to the sense where we can be kind only when people are kind to us. But then when we look from the outside, it looks like we are rude. Just think about those celebrities that have to take many pictures every time. Pictures, pictures, pictures. At some point, they don't even want to take pictures. They just want to eat, for example. They just want to spend some great time. That's why, you know, when I see someone like a celebrity, I'm like, I don't even want to say hi, but at the same time, I want to say hi, you know, because a lot of people want just to have a regular life and just enjoy, but they have all those people around them that are like just trying to get like a picture, trying to get something, you know. But the people who receive this kind of attention as well, they have to appreciate that people love them. But then in this world, it feels that you always have to be how everybody wants you to be. And the moment that you're like yourself, everybody thinks that you're different. There's a song where I'm saying like, when I'm myself, you don't like me, but when I'm not myself, you like me. That's one of the songs that I was writing, and it's just accurate, because the moment you just act like someone, the moment you speak like someone, you know, that's when everybody likes you. But me, when I go to places, I don't try to be liked by everyone, but of course I go to those places and I want people to like me. Of course I want people to like me, but I'm not just going to wear a mask just to pretend so that people like me. That's why I'm hated. People like, they watch me, they like me, but they don't want to say that they like me. I don't even know why, you know, but it is what it is. Kindness is something that people have, you know. Some people really want to be kind. Some people want to just be in a peaceful world, you know. They go to places, they just want to have fun. They just want to spend time with their friends and just enjoy most of the time. But it just looks like every time, especially like if a person is alone, you know, they're doing their things on their own, they don't even care about people, it's easy for people to just say, this person is like that. Like, how many times did you go to a place where you're just chilling on your own? Maybe you're eating alone, maybe you're just doing your stuff alone, you know, because you enjoy your own stuff, your own company. But then someone comes and try to talk to you like in a way where like they discredit you for being yourself and just enjoying. And the moment you show to people that you are not the person that they're trying to portray to you, that's when everybody likes you. So it's a really tough situation that people go through, where everybody hates them until they prove to everyone that they are like people that are like friendly. But there are some people that are not necessarily friendly all the time, but it doesn't mean that they're not friendly. And also there are people who look friendly, but they're just doing that because the cameras are everywhere. Because people are like, you see those events, Met Gala, all those things, a lot of people there, they're just nice because everybody is watching. It's like you see some soccer games and those sport events, they're shaking the hands of other people just because they are like the paparazzi and the people there. You know, so it's just how we perceive stuff. It's how we see things. It's not how, like, kindness is not something that can be invented. Everybody can be kind, but it's something that people actually want to be. They want to be kind. They want to save Earth. They want to see great things happening in the world, especially with what we see today. So you will always be misunderstood if you're someone that is kind, because everybody is getting used to people just like trying to find ways to succeed, not caring about feelings, especially in those places where there's business, work, studies, all those type of things. It becomes really competitive in those places where we have to compete, because everybody is just like looking. think about a team, a soccer team, they all want to win. They all want to be the best player most of the time. So sometimes some teams don't get along. Some people in the team don't get along because this person wants to be the best, this person wants to be the best, this person thinks that they have control over everything. So this happens, and you see even like the TV shows that you see, you see that like some woman wants to be the best. You see some men want to be the best of the shows, all type of things. It's like it's everywhere that it is like this. But if you go to a place with kindness and people like you for your kindness, you have to be ready for people that are just not going to appreciate your kindness. And then you're going to see that most of the time, people are just going to be talking about you in a way that is the opposite of what you do when you're working really hard, when you're trying to speak to people, all those kind of things. So sometimes we think that we go to things, we pray all our life to get things. And the moment we get those things, we are not even fighting to get those things or maintaining those things. We are actually fighting against the people who also pray to have the things that you have. Oh, Jesus Christ. So it is like that. The world is like that, and it's in every aspect of the world that it is like that. It's not just like this place is like that, this place is everywhere that is like that. So for the people who are kind, I speak to the people who are kind, who are ambitious, they want to achieve great things, Those are the people that I'm talking to. And I just want to say that your kindness is appreciated in this world because it's a different thing. People just think about themselves. Most of the people think about themselves. They're only kind because they want to look like people that are kind, So when you show up to places being kind, it might look like you're not aware of things around you, because you give the benefit of the doubt to people, but they just think that since you're kind, they can do whatever they want, but they know that they can play with us, They know that. So a kind person that is strong in their own sense, they are comfortable with themselves, is a stronger person than someone that spend their time just talking bad about people. So it is what it is. So you have to know that you have always been someone changing things, and it doesn't matter. Like you just being present in places just changes things. You just being there, doing your own stuff, it changes things. It just affects the mood to everything that you do. So the people that are the most criticized, there are some people, they spend an entire season, doing their best, but they are the people that are always being criticized. And it's always going to happen. That's what I mean. It's always going to happen. And you have to understand that when you're not in situations, it's different. When you're there, it's easy. You're easy to talk to. It's easy to have things get done. Things get done easily when you're there. So never forget how your contribution is good in the places that you go to. So you might think that people are competing with you. You have to understand it's a competition, right? I music and all those things, in all those things you go and you just think, oh, I'm just going to do my thing, or maybe you just work at a restaurant, or you just you go to school, it's at the end of the day, everybody is trying to have a good grade. Everybody is trying to make more money. So when you get things, you will start seeing people that actually envy you and that are jealous of you. But sometimes when you're not aware, you might think that those are your friends. That's why at the end of the day, people feel drained. They don't understand why. It's because what is happening around them, it's not necessarily like the environment that is actually supporting them like that, right? But we try to not let things go. We try to not let things go. That's why it's even more difficult. The more we try to just keep things, for ourselves, just saying, no, man, I'm not letting this thing go. That's when we get even more pressure from different situations. And also the like walking away from situations as well is going to be the same thing because it's just a pattern, you know. I've seen a video talking about that. It's just a cycle that is happening where you always attract the same situations. Why do people always attract people that are just doing the same thing over and over? Like you see some pretty woman, they have a man, then they go with another man and it's the same thing. You see some men, they go with another chick and it's the same chick over and over. So what is going on is that it's the same people. We are meeting the same people over and over and over. So it's a cycle that is happening. So you being a kind person, you being someone that is nice and that is just like trying to enjoy things, you don't even care. You just go there like you're like a kid that is just happy. But a lot of people, they are no longer like that. When it comes to the moolah, when it comes to money and all those things, people no longer care about those things. So you have to understand that the world we are living in, we have this image of the world where like everything is perfect. But we have to teach kids from the start the way the world is. Because the moment we finish school, this is the jungle. This is not the easy thing where like you can easily get a job or you're going to have your way in things that you want. No, it's a tough world, and we have to teach the youth that this world is not easy, but if you work, you're going to get the things that you want. I actually believe that because I wish people told me that when I was already in high school, because a lot of people right now, they are not able to find jobs. They are not even able to go to schools. A lot of people right now, they are not even able to go to a school. But even if they finish that school, they might be unemployed. So this entire thing of like going to school, getting a job, all those things, it feels that it's going nowhere. It's like people chasing a dream, the American dream and all those things, right? Everybody is chasing something that is already outdated for years. It's no longer the same way. So what is happening is that we have to teach the youth. We have to start the conversation here with the youth saying that it's not an easy word. You see what is going on? It's not easy. But at the same time, you just have to continue being a kind person that you are. It doesn't matter. Like, we just have to be kind people and strong people at the same time. I don't believe people who say that the people who are kind are not able to be in good positions in this world. It's not true. As long as you know what you're doing and that you're happy, and you don't let just people push you around, because that's the thing. Most people think that they can push us around most of the time, but at the end of the day, when we wake up, it's not going to be the same thing. So we have to stay humble, but at the same time, people shouldn't play with us. That's the message I want to share today. It's like they like the idea of you, but they don't like you in some situations. Because the moment you start to be yourself, that's when it's actually triggering people. But this entire time, you want peace. You want to be in a world where like everything is fine. That's why you just give to people, you overgive to people, and you don't receive anything in return. Because the moment they get what they want, they are gone, So just know that the moment you know how to be kind and strong at the same time, you're winning this thing over. So don't worry about yourself. Don't doubt. Just know that your kindness will be appreciated. Appreciated. Hallelujah.